Coming up next on WMLT, find out how one college student escaped a nearly fatal accident caused by texting while at the wheel.
Welcome to WMLT on PBS. I'm Rachel Shelton.
And I'm Kayla Lockhart. First, we bring you the chilling story of how one West Virginia State student nearly lost his life a year and a half ago due to texting while he was behind the wheel.
Ask Joey Rogers his advice about texting behind the wheel, and you'll get a quick answer.
Not to do it.
Nearly a year and a half ago, Joey, a West Virginia State student, narrowly escaped a nearly fatal accident when he hit a cement truck head-on. Joey didn't even have a chance to brace himself for the collision.
Just a quick note, and when I was going around the turn, I just happened to look down and double-check what I had written. The thing I remember was going around the turn and looking down, and I was not able to tense up because I did not see what I had hit.
This is a graveyard for the cement trucks like the one Joey hit that day. As you can see, the cement actually sets and they never can be completely totaled. These also kind of serve as a reminder to unwise drivers who decide to text while they're at the wheel. Although Joey's story is a horrific one, it's still not enough to scare others from multitasking while they drive. Concord student Simona King feels she's responsible and alert enough to handle both safely.
I don't necessarily look at my screen when I text. I'm very good with the keyboard, so I try to learn the numbers beforehand, and I use shorthand texting, so it's a lot easier just using the words, the letters instead.
According to studies done at the University of Utah, driving while texting or just talking on your cell phone in general can be equivalent to having a .08 alcohol level, which is driving drunk in most states. And clearly, these results look like a drunk driving accident. But maybe Joey says it best.
Anything can happen at any given time. You need to put away all their distractions and focus on their surroundings.
Rudy Raines, WMLT News, Buffalo.
Amazingly enough, over 185 billion texts were sent last year, but stories like Joey's have helped in encouraging greater safety precautions behind the wheel. The state of Washington recently became the first state to actually outlaw texting while driving. A couple tips on maintaining communication while traveling are: try to take care of calls and texts before getting behind the wheel. And if you insist on using a cell phone while driving, invest in hands-free devices such as Bluetooth.
Driving on the main road isn't the only place where you have to be careful. When operating a vehicle, Peter Fictorn shows us how all-terrain vehicles can be just as dangerous and require just as much attention.
ATV riding is popular as an outdoors activity and as transportation for hunters. Unfortunately, it can also be deadly. In September alone, the Mountain State reported 11 deaths from four-wheeler accidents, the highest in 1 month in state history. I went to Hillbilly Cycles in Princeton and spoke with ATV expert Trey Farley to learn the basics of ATV safety.
First of all, you need a helmet. When I sell you a four-wheeler, we recommend you buy a helmet from us. There are chest protectors, gloves, boots. Eye protection is very important too. So we ask you to at least buy a helmet and eye protection from us if you buy an ATV.
I asked Trey about the ATV rider safety courses that are provided.
It's a good thing to do. If you're not familiar with them, which an ATV is not very hard to ride, but there's people out there that just got into riding them and want to know more about them. I'd go with the riding course if you're not familiar with them.
Like driving a car, riding an ATV should not be mixed with alcohol.
In West Virginia, you don't need a license or an endorsement to ride an ATV or four-wheeler. A vehicle such as this can be ridden by anyone who is 16 years or older. Smaller vehicles are provided for younger riders. The rider safety course is then provided as a service so that people might have safer, more fun trips.
Despite the danger, ATV tourism is a multi-million-dollar industry in West Virginia. So strap your helmet on tight and be safe on the trails. It's Peter Fictorn with WMLT News.
2007 marked the 27th anniversary of Bridge Day in Fayetteville. The annual festival is held at the New River Gorge Bridge every October. Attendance this year went up more than 10% from last year, making the number of spectators over 200,000. Participants arrived early for the one day a year when base jumping from the Western Hemisphere's largest arch bridge is legal. Experienced base jumpers were allowed to jump from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. when the bridge was closed to all traffic. Bridge Day is also the only day a year when pedestrians are permitted on the bridge, and thankfully there were no major injuries or accidents.
Having trouble meeting that special someone? One campus organization did its part to help. Phi Alpha Delta recently held a speed dating event in Concord University's ballroom. For a mere $3 in advance or $5 at the door, students looking for love embarked on a game of romantic musical chairs. Dating candidates asked a series of questions, rotating round robin every few minutes to the next participant. Speed dating has become increasingly popular recently, popping up across the country on TV and in movies like Hitch and The 40-Year-Old Virgin. Whether daters here at Concord were looking for a relationship or just an opportunity to meet new people, there was a lot of fun to be had. Every day is bringing us closer and closer to holiday shopping, and sometimes we get caught up in the rush of all that shopping. It's easy to lose track of how much we're spending on our credit cards. Recently, Concord University hosted a seminar to educate students on the pros and cons of owning a credit card. Students have their own credit card spending, but scams and bad credit cards are no laughing matter.
We try to go out to talk to high school students and college students to try to make them aware of the problems and the traps that are out there. Students, unfortunately, these days are the target of credit card companies. They are a main focus that they want to get them early.
No matter who you are, you've probably felt the effects of breast cancer, whether it's yourself or someone in your family or a friend. Recently, Concord students had a chance to unite and work towards finding the cure for the devastating disease. Since October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, Relay for Life made some delicious cookies and interesting t-shirts to get others involved. Pamphlets were also available to provide information about cancer, and they all seemed to have a very fun time contributing to the cause.
To kickstart our fundraising events, since it's October and it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we decided to make boob cookies to raise money, and also we have made t-shirts that say save a life, grab a boob, and save the boobies.
Dr. Delilah O'Haines, an English professor at Concord and a cancer survivor, recently had her book, Walk Free from Fear of Cancer, published. The book started out as a journal and after 5 years became a completed book. Dr. O'Haines says her faith stayed strong through the many challenging obstacles in her life. The book shares her struggles and achievements in surviving cancer and provides hope and inspiration for others.
So I urge everybody to get all the information that they can, and I've packed this book with as much information as I can to help people make that decision.
Usually the term riffraff seems pretty negative, but as Arden Hamrick found out, the riffraff in Princeton is anything but.
Downtown Princeton, a place where once upon a time the fine arts thrived, but now one of the only remnants is the war mural in Town Square. While it seems to be a rustic way of life, the people at the riffraff are trying to revitalize fine arts in the downtown area.
Well, we're trying to bring as much as we can to the community in the form of music and art, and give people a place to go that they can kind of call their own.
I went around and asked a lot of students what they thought about the riffraff.
It's a good place to hang out, even if you're not an artist, because it's a great atmosphere. It's conducive to, just goodwill and art and hanging out. Just happy.
Well, I found out about the riffraff from a friend of mine who invited me to an open mic night that they had, and I decided to go, and it was a lot of fun. It's just a great environment with a lot of nice people.
Your friends being like, hey, you need to go here or else. When you have friends that are involved in it, it can be entertaining.
Progress is already being made for the arts in the downtown Princeton area, thanks to the efforts of the folks at the riffraff and their friends. Truly, the riffraff is a welcome addition to the downtown P-Town area. Arden Hamrick, WMLT News, Athens.
Coming up after the break, we'll take a look at the Concord University Softball Showdown.
Students have something new popping up in their Concord email inboxes. A new survey is circulating around campus asking students if visitation hours should be changed. The current visitation hours of the opposite sex in the men and women's dorms are 10 a.m. to 12 a.m. Concord students gave us their ideas on new policies.
Personally, I think yes, because 12 o'clock is really not enough time just for visitation hours, because people visitate, like they come and visit like all times during the week and everything, and maybe if you have a good friend or a parent and it's a girl or something, like, you know, you might need a little time, like more time and stuff if they're coming down just to visit you, just like a family member or something like that, you know.
I think they should, because most other colleges already have it so that most colleges have it that anybody can stay at whatever time they want and don't even have to leave at 12 a.m. I think 12 a.m. is too early for people to have to leave the dorm rooms.
I don't have a strong opinion myself on it, since I usually don't bring people in, but I wouldn't have anything against it if it was, because I can see why people want to probably bring their girlfriend or whoever what they wanted in. So
it may be football season, but that doesn't mean there isn't room for other sports. David Burnside has more on the big softball challenge between the administration and the student government.
Last month, there was a softball showdown between members of the SGA and the administration.
Well, this game was actually proposed in the summer. Dr. Beasley said, you know, it'd be a lot of fun if we can get some administrators and some SGA members to go out and play softball. We're just excited to promote the campus community and get some people out here, administrators, students, just interacting.
It's going to be an absolute massacre. Concord's going to win, absolutely.
The other team looks intimidating. They actually have uniforms, and rumor has it that they've been practicing for a long time. And you can look at ours. We've got a pretty seedy-looking bunch. Well, you can just see me. My muscles retired a long time ago.
At the end of the day, the game and the prize went to the administration.
It was a hard-fought game. Administration took a one-run victory. But we're looking forward to a rematch sometime in the spring when the weather gets better.
David Burnside, WMLT News.
That's all we have for this edition of WMLT. Remember to watch us again in 2 weeks. For Kayla Lockhart and the rest of WMLT, I'm Rachel Shelton. Have a nice day.